Oh, man. I'm mad. I'm in a bad mood now. Can't believe this one. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Losers Lounge. Sad noises. Presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use this code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer. Find out why. Whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. We're also the Toyota Losers Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Hop in the Toyota chat. Let out all of your frustrations. There's plenty to be frustrated about. You can be mad at your Denver Nuggets. You could be mad at your Denver Nuggets coach. You could be mad at the shot clock operator inside of, what was the arena? Tiso Arena? Is that what it is?
No, that's the name of the shot clock.
Oh, Tiso shot clock inside of the Moda Center? Is that what it is? Yeah, Moda
You
Center?
can be mad at the Where's Waldo guy.
You could be mad at Where's Waldo. You could be mad at
That guy sucked.
Emirates. There's a lot of people you could be mad at tonight. Zach Zarba, perhaps.
Yeah.
Nuggets get the loss in controversial fashion, but also they got what they deserved. I got Brendan Vogt here.
Yeah. Those bad calls put the final nail in the coffin, but the Nuggets sure helped make their own bed down the stretch, man. Luckily, we're all dressed perfectly normally and for a loss and to talk really soberly about a basketball game. Right, guys?
Yeah, that's right. That's
Right,
that's
guys?
exactly right. Friday night, Halloween night.
Make this cut. Make this cut,
Harrison?
Kale.
Yeah, that was a smash cut moment.
I'm ready to hand out some indictments about that game. You know, I got a long list of people I'm interested in talking to after that one.
Superstar Dev or Prince.
I can't believe that I didn't bring another shirt or outfit
Yeah.
just in case. I never even
Calling
thought
for a
about
league
that.
investigation while dressed as a judge, does that give me more credibility or less?
I think it gives you more credibility, man. This was a tough one. It really is a bummer to be dressed in those costumes here for this game. Let me give you a fast breakdown real quick just so we can relive our misery. Nuggets were in a zone to start the game, and they played a lot of zone tonight, and it really affected the pace of this game. I mean, I thought they took the Blazers out of their rhythm completely with that zone, but they might have also taken themselves out. This game had no rhythm. Nobody had rhythm at any point in this game. Did anybody establish even like 1 minute of rhythm?
Well, I mean, luckily there were no other extenuating circumstances, right, that would throw people out of rhythm.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's put a pin in it.
Okay.
Nuggets did get a bit of a lead with some leak outs by Christian Braun, but then he picked up 2 fouls. We went to some new lineups tonight. Tim Hardaway, Cam Johnson, Peyton Watson, Aaron Gordon, Jokic. I don't think we've seen that one yet. And the Blazers were ice cold. They were 1 of 12, I think, to start the game from the three-point line. But Denver couldn't really build that big of a lead. They did, however, have, I think, a 6 or 8 point lead when all of a sudden the clock stopped working. And I don't mean for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. It was like a half hour. They couldn't get the clock to work on Emirates Cup night. They couldn't get it to work, and it was literally like a 20. I don't know what the total time was. Did anybody see? 20 to 30 minutes,
I would say 20 to 30.
20 to 30 minutes of actual time elapsed before they were able to get it back out. They had to call Waldo out from the crowd. He had to come down. Literally a guy dressed as Waldo. It was a very long interruption, but the Nuggets were up 26-18 after 1. Portland clawed back, and then Denver had all of these sloppy turnovers. This was going to be a tough game. Both teams, I think, defended well, but Denver also had... They were going to have some turnovers no matter what. They were going to have some missed shots, but they sprinkled in just enough of these like pointless turnovers, just absolutely ridiculous ones throughout the game. Thankfully, Jamal Murray was going off in that second quarter, and he started to really catch a rhythm himself, I guess. Portland did take a lead at the very end of the half. Jokic took it back, and then Portland fouled Cam Johnson on a heave for some reason. Do you guys remember that play?
Oh, yeah. I forgot
That was absolutely ridiculous. 57-53 Nuggets going into the half. Third quarter, the most clunky. Don't go back and rewatch the third quarter. That was a horribly played quarter by both sides. Worst 7 minutes of basketball you can watch this year. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Peyton Watson entered, and the Nuggets went on a run, and it was a great close for that lineup in the third. 81-71 Nuggets going into the fourth. That feels like a win, boys. But after a little bit of back and forth, the Nuggets bench coughed up the lead, and it was just a 4-point lead by the time everybody checked back in. And clutch time, Cam had a big block shot that I thought was going to be like the signature moment, because we're in like the final 3 minutes, and it felt like, okay, that's a big play to make. You took points off the board. None of us saw the block coming. And then Jamal hit this super clutch step back two. It felt like we were in business. Portland missed a bunny. AG hit a tough ISO jumper. Everything's looking good. But then Avdia gets a and one. It was a 2-point game. Christian Braun got a wide open three. Do you guys remember this one?
Yeah.
This is in like the final minute. Christian Braun wide open three. And then on the other end, he fouls Jeremy Grant on what was such a tough play. He's backpedaling. His arms are up. I barely even make the contact. It was almost like belly to belly with Christian leaning backwards. Nuggets challenged it, but Zach Zarba upheld the call. Tie game with 28 seconds to go. Cam Johnson gets blocked at the rim. 3.2 seconds left. The Nuggets 6.9 on the game clock. And they enter the ball to Jokic. He gets hugged before the ball comes in with the left arm. And then Toumani Camara reaches around with the right arm while Jokic has two hands on the ball. He has one hand around his belly and the other hand apparently touching the ball and no part of Jokic's body. And it was called a jump ball. I've never seen it in my life. A jump ball reached around with one hand on the body, one hand apparently on the ball.
If the ball even just kind of gets out of his hands just a little bit, that's just a blatant foul. You know what I mean? I mean, it was a blatant foul. It was one of the craziest calls I've ever seen. I mean, yeah, he did get to the ball and get hands on it because he reached around his back and hugged him and fouled him.
I actually thought he fouled him first before the ball came in because he has you can see it in slow motion. He literally has his left arm around Jokic's gut. And it's the right hand that he gets around ultimately after the ball comes in, which I still think would have been a controversial jump ball if it was just that part of it.
And if you have to do all of that to get to the jump ball, then you committed a foul. But
how do you have a fair advantage on the ball if you're behind? Like, what makes that fair?
It honestly was like on Titanic. You know, like he had the
little bit,
he had the full like body around, and they're like, looks like a jump ball, I think. So Portland gets the ball with 3 seconds left. They drop a play, and Jeremy Grant makes an incredible play and knocks down the game. Wait, no, that's not what happened. There was a foul call. Jeremy Grant just is like, they run it around. There's like arms are a little bit tangled at their hips, and it's a foul call with no time left. So he gets 2 free throws to win the game.
Well, and then Jokic almost hits.
Then Jokic did get
tying.
You're
shot.
right. With 1 second left, it was a Christian Leitner play.
Yeah.
Full court pass. He kind of turns around. Could have hit it, honestly. We've seen it hit shots like that before, but it did not go down. So the Nuggets lose. God, this was a dumb game. There's so many takes to go around. Let's go to our Red Hawk Roofing big takeaways. Superstar Dev, get us started.
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway in this one is there needs to be further investigation in Portland.
Yeah, they're not done with the investigation.
They're not
You
done
know the
with
investigation that's open? Keep it open.
There should be open investigation. But the open investigation that I think, not what you guys think.
Oh, okay.
They need to investigate. What's going on with Christian Braun? What is happening to Christian Braun? While everybody is like, all attention is on Cameron Johnson and how he's playing. Aaron Gordon hasn't looked great since the 50-point game. There's been all this like talk about everyone else. Christian Braun has escaped through, and the moment that he got paid, there's higher expectations for you. Yeah. He's not living up to any of those expectations right now. He looks bad. It's altering the way that the Nuggets are playing right now, and I just want to see what's happening there.
It is. I mean, this is the thing that's always tough, man. You earn your money on these contracts where you're massively underpaid. And I know it doesn't kick in obviously till next year, his $125 million extension. But this is the pressure that comes with it. When you're on a rookie scale deal and you have 3, 4, 5 mediocre games in a row, it's just like, whatever. When they come, they're great games, Now it's like, hey, man, the Nuggets are committed to you for a really long time in the championship expectations. And you're right, man. He's in a funk. It almost looks like he's in his own head.
It's so weird because in the preseason, the shot looked better. It looked like he was taking it with more confidence, less hesitation. And now he looks very similar to the worst version of the player from last year.
Yeah. 5 points tonight. You're right. 2 of 6 shooting, including the miss on. The big one is that sometimes you don't get a ton of shots. You get a wide open 3 with the game on the line. You got to come up with it. Didn't have it tonight. Wind?
I mean, can I go to Conspiracy Corner already, or are we saving that?
I mean, if it's your Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway.
I mean, this game down the stretch, the calls that were made, it felt rigged. Like, if a game was going to be rigged, this is how it would kind of feel with those types of calls going against the Nuggets.
Yeah, there's some time. It was a lot of time. It wasn't just, it was a couple of them that were like, at best 50-50, and they all decided the game.
Well, the jump ball was crazy.
That one to me is the one that you're like, that's not a controversial call.
I don't even know how you can even
foul.
think that's it. I mean, Zach Zarba's standing right in front of it. And then the other big one was obviously the Jeremy Grant foul.
The very end.
At the very end.
That ref had no confidence in her call either.
No, because
you saw her walking to the bench like,
well, and the call was
foul.
late.
It's a foul. Yeah, and it was late.
It was a super late whistle too.
Yeah.
And she walked right to the table to review it.
And she's kind of looking around the arena.
Messed up.
Yeah, she's looking around like, nobody look at me.
And look, like, when you look at the review, there's a little contact, so you uphold the call. But I mean, that was jarring, like how weird the officiating was down the stretch. And look, I don't think that's taking anything too far because there's a literal investigation going on about a coach point shaving potentially.
Yeah, it can't be connected to the officiating, although the Emirates Cup,
I mean, the
Cosa Nostra,
NBA's never had a problem with an official gambling or fixing games before.
It is awesome that you're finally letting this take rip while wearing
a judge's wig, man.
Yeah,
It's actually
really
incredible.
awesome.
It does give you more authority, I feel, to make this point. I obviously don't think anything is rigged, but I do think there's really bad calls that determine outcomes of games. And I think that's what happened tonight. But I will say, I'm not sure how deep the rabbit hole goes. I am willing to entertain the idea that all of these things are connected.
How could you know?
All of them, the poker game, Emirates, Adam Silver. I don't know how deep it goes, man. I honestly don't.
Campbell's soup.
I've heard of Campbell's. If you look at it upside down. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's so many things here at play.
Yeah, I mean, look, the calls were a factor. The jump ball calls were ridiculous. I'll say that, get it out of the way. Can't talk about it for an hour. There are other things to talk about, too. I do think the Nuggets helped make their bed in this one. My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is that they faltered in that fourth quarter and some familiar dynamics reared their head. So 2 things Portland did. Yeah. They went small, and going small and getting handsy against Denver is the way. It's really kind of the way in the modern NBA in general.
It really is.
This is your guy with small guy bias. Portland went small. And they got really physical. Here's the other thing they did. Pressure Denver's ball handlers. Murray looked tired. Aaron Gordon looked shaky bringing the ball up the floor. Those are carryover issues from last year. And again, I'm just looking at this game tonight, right? Like I think this team is probably in better position to handle these things than last year's roster was. But tonight, it reared its head in the fourth quarter. So to me, some of the issues looked familiar in this one. And just a reminder that there are still some things Denver's going to need to smooth out here across this campaign.
I mean, that's the thing is there actually are so many takes to have tonight that some nice Red Hawk Roofing big takeaways we have to double up or something on this. This one, I feel like there's 9 or 10 things we can talk about. Totally, yeah. I do appreciate the call thing though, because I do think that there is an alternative world where we're talking about the Nuggets' ability to win on the road when they play horribly, but they still find a way to get it, which is, I think, what all the way up until the last 6 seconds of this game, I thought that was going to be my takeaway. But if I had to use a Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway on a singular event, I think I would go with Aaron Gordon because he has the defensive assignments that are tough, although I don't know how impactful he was in key moments, especially in this one. But to your point, I kept thinking, is he conserving energy? Because there were a lot of times tonight, and then when there was the full court press, we got to get the ball's in Aaron Gordon's hands. I was like, he's not conserving energy. He has no energy.
Yeah,
you save it for that moment. He had turnovers. He struggled to get the ball up. He struggled to enter the ball in ways that you wanted. So he had that 50-point outburst in game 1, and his energy has been a little weird since then. And it's at least noteworthy among the many things. I'm not putting this game on him, but it is a thing that I thought last game and the game before, but they were winning and they were bad teams. And then tonight you're like, okay, well, he's conserving it for moments like this. And then moments like this happen and it's turnovers and it's just no burst, no ability to contain, no ability to finish at the rim through contact. A little concerning to me, to be honest.
Aaron Gordon plays well in like the first quarter and then he fizzles out throughout the game. And it's been that every single game where he's just not there. It looks like he's mentally checked out. It looks like he's physically checked out. We see those spurts. We see flashes of like the dunks and things like that. But then there's times that guys are just going by him for dunks and finishes. There's not, rebounding. There's not the things that make Aaron Gordon. That I think that's just what's lacking at times. And it's early in the season. You're going through this early. How do you get yourself into a rhythm or get the energy to just turn it on. It just doesn't work like that. So that's been something that has looked bad right now. Aaron Gordon has not looked like himself. Since that first game.
You could argue he had a good performance against Zion in the last game, but also the Pelicans were just kind of a mess from start to finish.
It's really hard to read it too much into that game for sure. Of all the games, to be honest with you, Denver's played one very good team, in my opinion, in the Warriors, one good team on the road in Portland, and 3 bad teams. I mean, Phoenix and New Orleans, no question. Minnesota without Anthony Edwards. So that's why I thought this game was going to be a little bit revealing, and in many ways it was. But man, it just sucks to have to end it with that, with all of this controversy, all of these different things. We got to take our first break. On the other side, there's so much to talk about from this game, though. We can get past the conspiracy part, and we can get into analyzing the Denver Nuggets, who revealed a little few weaknesses about themselves and things they have to work on in the coming games.
Shout out to Toyota. We're, of course, here in the Toyota Losers Lounge, unfortunately. But, Toyota, they've got a vehicle for everybody. If you're a car person, a truck person, SUVs, hybrids, they've got a different type of vehicle for everybody. Trucks, cars, SUVs, they got the 4Runner, the epic 4Runner. 17 models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. They've got the Tundra iForce Max hybrid truck and 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from. SUVs like the RAV4, the Grand Highlander, the Land Cruiser, the Tacoma, so many great options for Toyota. And I mean, they're the best. So if you're in Colorado, if you're somewhere else, Toyota, they definitely have a car, truck, SUV for you. Make sure to visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial. Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain State Toyota in Denver, Stevenson, Toyota East and Aurora, Stevenson, Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets, and it is the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
You may have seen this flash across the broadcast as you were watching. It's flashing across our post-game show here. Red Hawk Roofing, who of course brought you our big takeaway is you'll see that they're invested in a lot of things we do here at DNVR Nuggets because they are invested in local culture. They're invested in Colorado. They're invested in Denver. So it's a natural partnership for us. What do? Well, it's in the name, Red Hawk Roofing. There's no project too small for our guys at Red Hawk. They're your go-to for everything from minor repairs to full roof replacement on your home or business. It could start with a small job, turn into a lasting relationship, and goodness forbid you need a bigger job done. You know exactly who to call. These guys want to be loyal. They want to be helpful, and they want you to know that they are Team Colorado. Supporting your local teams means also supporting local businesses like Red Hawk Roofing. If you're looking for a new roof over your home or business, be sure to check out Red Hawk Roofing at redhawkroofing.com or call 720-771-8921. Tell them DNVR sent you.
All right, back here, segment 2. Hit the like button for us. The clock thing also was weird.
My God, man. What a night.
It is 2025, and it was a 30-minute delay for the clock thing that was very, very bizarre. Waldo getting involved was very bizarre.
What are we
there
doing?
Just was so much
in the
bizarreness
NBA
to this
Cup,
one.
the opening game of the NBA Cup, no less.
Not a good look for Emirates. So Aaron Gordon, we got out of the way. Let's talk Jokic's night. He does not get a triple-double, Dev. Only add insult to injury here. He finishes with a Sombor double, 21, 14, and 9.
I wanted that triple-double so bad just because I want him etched on every single record that he could have. That would have been one that would have been very difficult for people to catch, and he could have extended it. I mean, I'm not happy with the way that Jokic played in that game. Like I was disappointed with his performance. There is no world where Valanciunas plays 10 minutes in a game that Jokic led all players in that, and he takes 2 more shots than him in a game. It just should not happen. We want him to take over. He should be a lot more aggressive. He should be trying to score. That was a team who was much more they were really undersized going against them, and they tried, different methods to slow him down. They put people out there that had no business guarding him. He's not scoring on them. He's not trying to shoot. There was a stretch that they went away from him, maybe because he's not trying to shoot. But, I mean, I don't like how he's taking a back seat at times. It looks like Jamal's taking every shot. It looks like he's, trying to be the alpha right now. And we already know what type of player that Jokic is. You could even see it in this game. This was a efficient night. He should have got to the free throw line more. It should just be a lot more aggressive, and he's not getting that. So I really didn't like Jokic's performance tonight.
Yeah, it's like I thought he played well, and he kind of played with the same rhythm that he's played all season long, you know?
Yep, 100%.
But maybe this was a bit of a reminder that they might just need him to go takeover mode still this season. Even though this roster is deeper, even though he's got more shooters this season, there will be times like maybe tonight down the stretch where you just need to call the play and get out of the way and, you know, force a double, triple team. Portland closed really small this game. You know, they closed without Klingon. They had Avdia playing the 5 and Jeremy Grant out there. So, like, the opportunities were there. The advantage was there. The Nuggets, they haven't looked to press that button a ton this season. And, you know, they really haven't had to with just how their offense has flowed. But maybe this was just a sign that they will have to go to that, you know, finishing punch still.
And then in the fourth quarter, they had a hard time doing it for reasons we've seen before, like was my big takeaway. They go small, they switch everything. They've got 2 hands extended. They're fouling. It's hard to make an entry pass to Jokic when they go small and they do what they do, right? OKC kind of laid the blueprint for that. I thought Portland did a lot of it tonight. I'll give Jokic credit defensively. I actually thought he might have been Denver's best defender tonight.
He was really good.
Maybe that's a stretch. Maybe it's not. He
Maybe
actually might have been. I mean, whatever. He's in the conversation. Yeah. Jokic played well defensively is the point. Yep. I understand what Dev's saying, though. I mean, to this point in the season, Jokic has been in playmaking mode. Like, he's not just hanging out in the low post and trying to score every possession. Maybe he sees the value in switching up. Maybe it's I'll do that in the postseason when we need to because this team should be good enough to get buckets without me. In their 2 losses, though, in hindsight, it's easy to look at a close margin in his shots and say, could he have shot more, especially in the paint? I thought generally, though, because of his defensive effort and his effort on the boards where Klingon was giving him, which just would have given anyone a hard time, I thought he played fairly well. He just could have been more aggressive for sure.
And you wonder about that aggressiveness. You know, if this is last year, I think he is, in large part because it's like, if I'm not, we will lose.
We will lose.
And in this year, it feels like the best thing for me is if we play right with this level of aggression.
I agree.
But if the team doesn't play right and execute, then it's like, hey, now you need to step up. And thus far, I mean, look, he has how many triple doubles?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, 4 triple doubles in a row. Now he has a Sombor double. So it's, you know, it's hard to criticize him too much when he's doing that. But I do agree, man. This does feel like a game where if he would have just sensed when the team needed it, it's like, all right, here I go. I'm just going to bury myself in. Because the times he did get post-ups, it just looked, I know he doesn't like us saying it looked effortless.
Don't say it.
I'm not going to say because I'm sure it was difficult, but it looked effortless.
Looks like you could do it every time.
Looked like you could do it every time.
There was a portion where it looked like the switch was flipped a little bit. Maybe midway through the fourth quarter, he had a couple just dominant possessions in the post. But then there were also the moments when, and look, Murray hit these shots mostly,
right, yeah.
But they're playing 2-man game. Yo kind of backs off and lets Jamal cook. And again, Jamal hit some of those looks, but you know, maybe just a little bit more demanding of the ball.
I don't know if this is true, and I know he would deny it if he was ever asked it, but it does feel, and we've seen this of Jokic in years past, it does feel a little bit like he spends this portion of the season trying to work on things that are long-lasting. Like you see him coaching Cam on some of these plays about what he wants and running actions with different guys, and it feels like, I'm not saying it is this way, but it almost feels like there's a method to his madness when you're like, but we could just win the game.
For sure.
Yes, exactly. No, that's why I think all of these things are true. I don't like, depending on how you're feeling about it, walking away from a close loss and he only shoots 10 times. Yeah, Dev's right. Then if you look at the long run, yeah, there's something to like, that's the way that they score. And then you get to a playoff series and everyone knows there's only one way you can score and they know how to guard it now.
Right.
I do think Jokic would like to work out some of those kinks as a roster. Do we have more variety than that as an offense? But I also think Dev's point absolutely stands in a margin of 2 points when he only shoots 10 times.
I mean, he started out the game in the first quarter, he took 1 shot. And it seems like that's what it's been every single game is the first quarter, he doesn't want to shoot the ball. Why? Go be aggressive. And, you know, we talk about this depth the entire year because they do look different. But I think that would be a strength of theirs is when he has it going on. Jamal looks like more aggressive. They have it going, okay, we're going to give it to someone else because we got to try to slow these guys down. Mm-hmm. Instead of like, we're going to just start the year out with letting everybody else eat and then we'll figure out what does and does not work. Because there was a lot of things that's not working with that plan. No one else has it right now. You know, it started out the year with Aaron Gordon having his huge game, but after that, Cam Johnson has not scored a ton.
Yep.
Christian Braun is struggling. Other people are struggling, right? Like that's on the floor. So I just think that I understand that there's the long-term thing, but really you have to push the button and then let them figure you out, not the other way around. It shouldn't be Jokic having to adjust. They need to adjust to Jokic.
Yeah. There's something too that you're so dominant early on that the teams overreact. And that's what you want. You want so much pressure on the defense to guard you that it opens things up a little bit more for everyone else.
To the point of the conversation, there's one game where he did that this year, and that was Minnesota.
Yeah.
In the first quarter, he went right into the paint. And maybe that was recognizing the opponent, that they needed that from him. It does seem clear to me, though, that if he had his druthers, he would shoot 10 to 12 times right now, pick up 10 to 12 assists, and everyone else can eat. I think he wants that to be the realized version of this roster by game 82. Having said that, you can still totally make the argument that in their 2 losses, his aggression would have helped a lot.
Jamal Murray is the other guy tonight. 22 points, 9 of 15 shooting. He was super aggressive tonight. I'm kind of surprised he only took 15 shots. He did get 7. Nope, he only got 3 free throws. Because it kind of felt like he was even shooting more than that. He was just being so aggressive early and often. But he also was hitting some of these shots. What's weird, though, Dev, is he had plays tonight where you're like, that's Murray that we've been waiting for, getting to his spots. The one that felt like it was going to be a dagger, the sidestep 2, that was huge. But he also, to me, looked a little sluggish. We know he came in tonight with a calf thing and all was questionable. I felt like I noticed it tonight, like that I noticed that he was laboring a little.
Yeah, I think that he was aggressive in the way of he wanted to take a lot of shots early on. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think that he was just aggressive. Like, I think that he took a lot of step back shots. I think he took a lot of ISO baskets, and he shot the ball so much early on that I think that they was like, this is his night. And then they started to revert to him every single time. And I don't like that. I also felt like there was times that he went back to the old Jamal of having the ball and dribbling so many times into the last 2-3 seconds. And then he wants to, make a step back or try to make a play, and it's a grenade at that point. But he did look like he took a step back in this game. And, I mean, he came into the game questionable. Very shocked that he played in this game with the calf. But really, he didn't look like himself. And, I mean, it makes sense with him having an injury going into this one. But he's shooting the ball. He looks aggressive. He's scoring. As far as he wants to score. He wants to shoot. So they're going to try to get it to him. I think there needs to be a balance of getting him involved while also getting other people involved as well.
Yeah, he was super aggressive in the first quarter and then late, and then didn't do much in the middle of the game.
Yep.
I mean, his mid-ranger has been so on point this season.
Yep.
He's
So
been
much
able to
confidence,
create
too.
space, just get to that step back in the ISO game where, when like the Jamal last year, I don't know if he's getting that separation and rising and hitting those shots. And then even late in the game, man, it looked like he was getting real tired, especially some of those really shaky possessions, dribbling the ball up the court. I mean, the ball handling on this team, that's a whole nother topic to talk about, I think. But he looked really tired and then still hit, some big time shots down the stretch. Somehow he just had enough in him. But yeah, disappearing a little bit in the middle of the game hurt.
Yeah. I mean, I think he looked so tired in part because Portland did what a lot of teams are doing these days to a lot of other teams, and that's pressuring ball handlers full court. And bringing it back to Adam's big takeaway, if you're closing with your starters, there's one guy in particular whose responsibility is to relieve that, and that's Aaron Gordon, who, look, it literally hurts me to criticize Aaron Gordon, but it's part of the job. He was really sloppy in that fourth quarter, man. And like that, in the past, that's been a very reliable option. So again, that's why I opened the show the way I did. I think this team is much improved in the personnel undoubtedly, but a couple of dynamics from last year that reared their head in this one for sure. Like they will have to figure out how to handle the pressure and what to do when teams go small and get handsy.
And the other part about Murray's night was his minutes with the bench too. Because the second
good.
unit probably had their worst night of the season tonight, and he's the leader of that group.
He was a game worse minus 15, but a lot of that came in the non-Jokic minutes where he's supposed to be leading, and some of it was all at once. Some of it there was runs, but a lot of it was like margins. That third quarter run they had, or maybe it was early fourth quarter, it kind of felt like, okay, that's good. You're a -1, -2, whatever, and then at the very end you give up like a 5-0 run, and you're like, well, now those were bad minutes because the close to that stint was so rough. I think we're going to take a break. On the other side, I want to get to something you kind of hinted at here, which is what I think I learned. The big real lesson from this game is that this team does have a lot of learning themselves to do. There's enough continuity that you think like, okay, are you ready? But the truth is, I think the Nuggets have a lot of trials and tribulations that hopefully they can win through, but they're going to have to learn a lot about themselves before they are the team we all want them to be.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Ashley Weaver. 2 months of being a member of the Supporters Club.
I love it.
Shout out to Game Time as well. Tickets for concert shows, sporting events. It's the only ticketing app I use. It's the best one out there because, well, there's a couple reasons. Priority fees are included. You know your total price right up front. They got zone deals. They have seat views, lowest price guarantee on Game Time. And they also have Game Time ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. NBA tickets, NHL, Broncos tickets, college, whatever you need. Game Time, they've got you absolutely covered. Also, more than sports too. Concerts, shows, and of course, your favorite sporting events. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account. Use code DNVR. You're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account. Redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. It's the best app to use. It's the easiest app to use. It's the only one I use. It's concert shows, sporting events, whatever you need. Download the Game Time app.
Kale, fire it up on the mountain. Kale, fire it up on the mountain. Fire on the Mountain is Denver's favorite local wing joint. And
Bro, we had this the other day. They were in they brought some by the office.
It's
Fantastic.
really good.
Fantastic.
And one of my favorite things is the first time we ran this ad and started talking about it, the chat lit up. Like, this isn't just us telling you.
Hell
the
yeah.
chatters know these wings are really, really good. At Fire in the Mountain, they're featuring hormone-free, antibiotic-free, cage-free wings with 15 super flavorful made-from-scratch sauces, ranging from mild to insanely hot and everything in between. If you're a drinker, craft beer list and killer cocktails are available. There's happy hour all day on Tuesdays, $5 beers on Mondays. They've got walkable and bikeable locations. That sounds pretty Denver to me. And if it's not Denver enough, there's vegan options as well if you need it. Oh, here's another Denver detail. Awesome patios at each location.
That's actually huge.
I love a Denver patio. You know what I mean?
Are you kidding me?
Grab $5 pints on Mondays, all day happy hour on Tuesdays. And Fire on the Mountain now offers delivery from their Wash Park store. Try the best wings in Denver at the DNVR Broncos tailgates. We got one coming up here to start November, and then another 10 days later. Meet me at the tailgate. I'll be filming some content, most likely, and we will have some wings there. And you can visit some of their spots in the Highlands or at Wash Park. Fire on the Mountain. Check them out.
Alrighty, we're back here, segment 3. So yes, I think the 3 wins were great. They were against bad opponents. Denver crushed them, and they looked good in certain moments of it. There were strengths and weaknesses, but you're like, man, the floor is really high. I think that's true. Portland's a good team, man. I mean, they're just tough to play. It's tough to be in Portland. They are very athletic, which is something that Denver has struggled with. They have good defense, full court pressure, something Denver struggles with. Denver did not shoot the 3 ball very well tonight. 6 of 25. 2 of those were Jokic. 2 of those were Tim Hardaway Jr. One of those was the Cam Johnson 3 from deep. Yeah. That wasn't like the result of good process. He just made a big shot, you know? So Denver didn't generate points from 3. I think these are all things that you look at and say, as much as Denver, we know who they are for the most part, CB's got to rediscover himself. Cam Johnson still has to figure out who he is. David Adelman still has to kind of figure out what buttons to press with this team and combinations to play. So I think this team is very good and their floor is very high. But I think they still have, these first 20 games are still going to be a lot about self-discovery.
But I will say one of the questions I had about this team in the preseason showed up tonight for sure. And it's the ball handling and the ball handling under pressure. I mean, Aaron Gordon struggled with it tonight. You know, Christian Braun wasn't confident bringing the ball up. Yeah. Peyton, like off the bench, there were some issues. You know, Cam looked skittish with the ball. So when you play these teams, Portland, Oklahoma City, these swarming defenses, and they tired out Jamal Murray in this game, like that was effective. So it's a very obvious, you know, game plan that you can play against Denver's guards and on defense. You know, you pressure them full court, tire them out, and create some turnovers. Because that's definitely something that happened tonight. And it's really the first time I felt it this season. Yeah. But this is clearly the best defense they've played this season.
This was a real challenge for them on ball handling, secondary ball handling. If it's not in Jamal's hand, if it's not in Jokic's hand, who else can really bring the ball up the court? We seen Peyton Watson, get to have his time. This is the teams that you do it against. You want to do it against them. OKC, these teams that are going to pressure you high and they're going to be aggressive the entire time. Aaron Gordon was horrible with the ball today. Like, he really was. He had that late turnover. He had a couple of very suspect plays where he's just throwing it, to anybody, but he could not handle the defense that they gave him. They didn't even put Drew Holiday on Jamal Murray to put that pressure. I think that they felt comfortable whoever was pressuring.
Well, Kamara's a great defender too.
They have the defenders on that team that's just going to make you work every single time, and just Denver did not have it. Then Denver also tried new things. They tried to employ that 2-3 zone the entire time, where they're leaving open shots, and then they're getting open shots on the other end, and they're turning them down. You talk about the 3-point shooting. Nobody is in a groove right now. Nobody is wanting to shoot the ball right now, and I think that played into their hand. So there are some early season tests that they have to overcome. Ball handling, 3-point shooting, two questions that you had going into the year. We still don't have answers.
Yeah. Other issues here. We'll talk about the bench here.
CB's just got to wake up, man.
CB,
wake up, dude. The season started.
What's interesting about it to me is that Cam Johnson clearly hasn't figured out where he fits in right now. I mean, he's just so off rhythm. He's skittish when he should be aggressive. Then when he is aggressive, he looks like he's constantly worried he's about to make a mistake, then makes a mistake. I do think that he had some plays tonight that were good. So it's weird because I'm judging him on such a curve, and I know fans are going to get mad at me for this. To me, it's like stacking good plays because the bad ones are going to be there. It's just every game try to add one more good play. Try to have 5 next game and 6 the game after that. But Christian Braun to me is the one where I'm like, he had a rhythm with his team. No. He's the one where I'm like, we don't think he needs time to find it.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of, I think, common denominators in the early season here across the first 4 games. I thought he really struggled defensively, and then he just wasn't finishing at the rim the way he used to. Tonight, it was the turnovers for me. I thought he had 4 turnovers in maybe the first 15 minutes of game time.
The sloppy ones, too, are the ones so you had a couple of the ones where you're like, why was that a turnover?
Totally. And then it's always easy to just you should have hit the shot, but Portland guarded that Murray Jokic pick and roll in a very clever way at the end of the game. And Jokic just slipped, and Drew Holiday was there to meet him. And Denver still created an advantage. They got a good
Wide
shot
open
for Christian Braun. They operated really well offensively against a good strategy defensively. It generated a good wide open 3 from their shooting guard, and he missed it. I mean, not much to say about that beyond I wish he'd hit it next time. But also, it's not Christian Braun is not a sharp shooter at the shooting guard position. So it was a rough night for him. There's no doubt about it. My captain hindsight question of the night to you guys, would you have closed with Tim Hardaway Jr.?
I mean, part of it is the way they were guarding that you kind of wonder, could you have gotten away with that? I think that it is a hindsight one, because if you would have asked me right before the game, I probably would have said no.
Or Peyton Watson.
Or even Peyton Watson, who was having a really good stint there. So I don't know. Let's get to those guys, though. I thought Peyton Watson and Tim Hardaway Jr. tonight, a little bit of Bruce Brown, but I think mostly Tim Hardaway Jr. and Peyton Watson did what we keep saying the bench needs to do, provide energy. Those guys both made plays. Even Tim Hardaway got that tip on a play that was pretty critical that just turned the momentum. And that's what the bench has to do. Even though those guys both ended up in the negative tonight. Actually, Tim Hardaway was a +2.
Wow.
It's still, to me, those guys brought energy, in particular when they were staggered with the starters.
I mean, Tim Hardaway played so well that he started to play with the starter. Yeah. They wanted to try to get some spacing. They tried to get some threes up and see how he operates with that group. You need a spark off the bench. They provided the spark off the bench. The bench had a good stint and they had a bad stint in the game. But that's what you need, is just something to try to wake you up. Because I don't even want to blame that on Big Val. The first stint they tried to keep him in it. They tried to extend the lead. The starters also did not have it, so it slowed down in the game. But I liked what I seen from, Tim Hardaway Jr. It is in hindsight that you say, shit, they had closed with them. Also, I think that they wanted to go with defense because they were giving up so much, but Christian Braun hasn't even been offering that.
Hasn't been good with defensively.
So
not even close.
Right now, if you're not giving offense, you're not giving what are you out there for? Tim Hardaway Jr. would have been my option because Peyton Watson had too many minutes in a row. It would have just been interchangeable for me on that.
Yeah, I thought Hardaway and P-Watt were great. I mean, P-Watt had a number of just energy-changing plays. The block, the steal. I mean, he still makes plays nightly that not many other players in the NBA can make. And I just feel like he's stacking good games right now and really good moments. So he's definitely got momentum. And Tim Hardaway was Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
You know, he was solid.
Missed a few more shots than I would have liked. He was 3 of 10.
It's going to happen, though.
But yeah, I thought his energy was good. Peyton Watson, though, 2 steals, 1 block. He did make a defensive impact again. Like, there were big-time defensive plays. Here's my theory. The athletic teams, he's going to shine on because he's one of the few athletes on the team, and he's just not bothered as much as everyone else seems to be by it.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, Watson, I think, plays defense in a way and brings a certain type of athleticism to the roster that without him, like it's glaring how much they're devoid of it. So I thought they were good minutes from Watson and Hardaway off the bench. Really good. Like the plus minus stuff is funky because the second unit really struggled in the non-Jokic minutes, but the third quarter minutes from Peyton and Tim, I thought they brought great energy. And the thing about Tim and the thing about shooters, and I would say this about Cam as well, is it's not always just about the shots they made. Like when teams want to guard you a certain way, but you have a guy who can and will take and make jump shots, it keeps them honest in a way that's important, right? And spacing is really important for a team that wants to dance in the middle the way Murray and Jokic do. So, like Tim, only 2 of 6 tonight, but I thought just by having him out there gave them a certain threat that inspired a fear in the defense that made life easier. So good energy from those 2 off the bench. But tonight, I mean, they lost the non-Jokic minutes tonight, minus 11, and that's the first time we've seen it go that poorly this season. I think they're clearly an upgrade over last year's exercises and futility. There's no doubt about it. But part of what happened tonight is the bench minutes didn't go quite as well as they have in the first 4.
What about the lack of three-point shooting? Denver tonight shot 24% from 3, 6 of 25. 25 is a pretty low number. 6 is a really low one, especially when you factor in 2 of those were Jokic. I think that's also part of this. It's athleticism and then teams that are like, you know what? We're going to contest threes and we're going to force them into certain guys' hands. Denver couldn't generate the types of threes you feel really good about. Cam Johnson only had 3 of them.
What was Cam from 3?
One of 3.
I
And one of them
mean,
was
that's
deep.
just unacceptable. Like Cam Johnson's a guy who should be living at the 3-point line. You know, and he looked, uncomfortable for a lot of this game on the offensive end again. But
Did he pass up any threes tonight?
No,
A couple.
You think so?
Yes.
probably a couple, but maybe he's just not getting open because he's not comfortable and like guys aren't really looking to find him. That 3 that he made, he didn't really want to take that until Jokic like camped under the rim and pretty much signaled to him, dude, this one's on you.
But this is why I think Jokic is doing this somewhat deliberately. That felt like a play where he was like, no, you need to be aggressive.
Right.
I'm not going to bail you out by coming and get the ball.
And if Jokic didn't do that, he would have been 0-2.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
like Cam, the volume's got to be way up. I mean, he's an elite shooter. He's got to start showing it. I mean, I think that's the first point you look to with their struggles from distance.
To your point, Tim Hardaway got 6 up in fewer minutes.
Yeah, playing with worse players.
And it doesn't make sense. When you look around the Nuggets group, you say you need outside shooting. You need that, spacing out there. You go and you replace Michael Porter Jr., who was a volume 3-point shooter, a guy that spaced the floor with his 3-point shooting. You have Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun, don't want to shoot, a ton of threes. You have Jokic, who's one of the biggest players in the league, and Jamal, who's your point guard, who's bringing the ball up a lot of times. It is on you to shoot the ball. Cam Johnson is getting 3 attempts up in a game. It just can't happen. It doesn't even make sense. And then also with how Portland defended you tonight, it was Jokic with a lot of small guys around you. They forced your hand into going inside. They put people out of position to defend and said, okay, come beat us inside. Come down here and try to, get to the paint, which then took them away from their game. So I think that Denver gets cute on just we're going to go inside every single time. And I think there should be a little bit more spacing. It should be a lot more shots going up, especially with a rebounder like Jokic down there.
Yeah. Aaron Gordon, by the way, 10 of 11 on opening night. 1 of 6 after that, 0 of 2, 1 of 4, 0 of 2. So he's only made 2 threes in his last 4 games.
I mean, yeah, he just hasn't been a huge factor. I mean, his minutes tonight, strangely, were not, particularly, like they didn't sink Denver.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, they were a plus 14, but it's not because he played well. He's a guy that I think it has to stretch the defense, has to get some threes up. You can tell when there was one in the corner he really overthought tonight for sure. So yeah, I agree with what
That's the one I was trying to remember. I just remember there being one, but I can't remember.
Well, there was also
quite.
that play where he caught it in the corner and then Jokic ran up to him to try to set a screen. And like Cam picked up his dribble and made a really nice pass to Jokic.
You're right, but
then immediately Jokic goes over to him and like, dude, you messed up.
That was you got the answer right, but
But I had to like hold your hands.
or just you did it wrong, but you got the right answer.
Yeah, but that's what we're seeing with Cam Johnson. I think this was a better Cam Johnson game. I do. But I do think that this is one of the games that Jokic and the other guys are telling Cam Johnson what he needs to do. It's more coaching him on the floor.
He wasn't nearly their biggest problem.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't. But I think that it still shows you how much more he has to adjust to being with this group, what they want there. There were small things that I liked. I liked the fact that when the pressure came, although he's not a ball handler, he gets the ball high so that he can't. He had that fake over the top, bounce down low. That's handling
that was
pressure
a great pass.
that other people were not able to do. He's not trying to dribble through triple teams, double teams, the way that we've seen Aaron Gordon do. He plays pretty simple. He keeps everything simple, and that works to his benefit right now because he's not turning the ball over every single time. He did take that, deep three and went in. He is still rotating and things. So I do think that he's getting better. I think we expected so much more right now that it's hard trying to adjust to it.
And he made some good plays defensively, but there were also some really rough moments. I mean, Avdia blew by him 3, 4, 5 times in this game, and then he fouled a lot too.
And he got every single layup attempt blocked. I mean,
swat that one, man.
That
there were
actually,
two.
That actually brings me back to why. So Denver went zone to start this game because Denver's still really struggling with point of attack defense. Like blow-bys are still the issue. Christian and Aaron. And the Blazers, I think, entered this game 5th in the league in drives per game. So the Nuggets rightfully went zone to start this game, so they couldn't just do that. I almost wonder if they should have done it more down the stretch. Again, I'm talking with the benefit of hindsight, but it's just too easy for certain matchups to blow right past Christian or Aaron right now. They're supposed to be the guys that just make that a little harder. Aaron said before the season started, he wanted to be all about defense. So I think it's fair to hold him to a higher standard. And Christian, that's why he got paid. So, this team drives really well. They're good at it. They have big guys that can drive, but it was a problem for Denver. And that's why the zone was there in the first half. And, you're going to see that zone again throughout the season at times for that reason, I believe.
Yoke also, by the way, it's happened a few times in the preseason and in the regular season so far where he's getting out jumped for rebounds, which you just don't really see because he's so good at using his body and stuff. But it could also be a sign of is he jumping an inch or two lower than what he needs? Because Klingon had a bunch where Yoke had him boxed out and everything, and he kind of just reaches.
Jumping 1 inch instead of 3 inches.
Hey, well, I mean, I'm just saying it is the margin that
Klingon got a lot, especially in that first half.
And they were all where you're like, okay, Yoke hasn't boxed out. Oh, nope, he got it.
Yeah.
He got it from Yoke, and you just don't see that very often, and we're kind of seeing it a little bit here. So
15 rebounds by Klingon, 7 offensive.
7's a lot.
That is a lot of offensive
He's
rebounds,
a big guy.
man. All right, here's the big state of the Nuggets. Right now, I think that they are sort of what their record says. I think they're 3-2 team.
Agreed.
Which is, I think their team is really good. I still love their team and where they're headed. I just think that they probably, this homestand will be nice. You get 4 games in a row at home, I believe. And it's nice because you don't have to travel. Hopefully you can recover your body. I think travel is as hard as anything in the NBA. So you don't have to travel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4-game homestand. You get a 4-game homestand. You get some rest and maybe even a little bit of practice or just to be around the gym a little bit more. Just like in training camp, I feel like this week needs to be a week where we see a meaningful bump. They have Sacramento, Miami, then you get Golden State again. I almost look at Sacramento and Miami as you should win those games. That's more in the Phoenix Suns Pelicans category. You should win those games, especially at home. Golden State will be a measuring stick to say all right, let's see, you're now 8-9 games in, and let's see if you've improved from game number 1.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I totally agree with that. This is a week for Cam Johnson to really get comfortable. This is a week for Christian Braun to lock in on defense. There's some matchups against these teams. Levine, obviously Curry coming up. Who was the third game?
Sacramento, Miami, Golden State, Indiana.
So Miami, I mean, you got some guards on that team. It's not the scariest offense, but they've been pretty good offensively this season. They've switched some things up.
They play super fast.
Yeah. And it's also a game where, you got to lock in down the stretch. A trend I hate through 5 games is that the Nuggets have choked away 2 of them.
That's another
And
great
I
take.
hate that.
Yeah, they've only played 2 clutch games. They're 0-2 in clutch games
Because
now.
this is a team that you just trust absolutely in the clutch. Jamal Murray, how many times have they been there? They're always under control. They always stay calm, cool, and collected. But they were in control against the Warriors and kind of choked. They were in control of this game and kind of choked down the stretch. I hate that. Yeah. But, I mean, that's not this team. Like, that's not how we know this team to be. So they got to figure it out.
Is it, though? I mean, they haven't. They've been decreasingly clutch since 2023,
Yeah. In the playoffs, for sure.
But also, to stick with that, what has been clutch about this team that we always see? We see the bread and butter, Jamal and Jokic, pick and roll.
Yeah.
Today we saw Cam Johnson go in for a layup attempt when that's supposed to be the last play of the game, or just like a play that you go to what's working. You go to your guys. He went off course, went for a layup, got it swatted so far. Yeah. Maybe a bump, maybe not, but I was very shocked of him taking that type of shot.
Well, I don't think it was off course, though, Dev. I think it was the teams are going to say not Murray and Yoke. CB, you can have an open 3. Cam, you can have a drive to the basket. Like, sometimes that is what makes Denver clutch, is in their clutch moments. The other guys knew, if you're going to do that, we're going to do our jobs. And right now, those guys aren't able to complete it. And the question is that a function of their potential or a function of where they are at this very moment?
Right. And I'm very hopeful that across 82 games with a more balanced roster, they can iron some of these wrinkles out. But just noteworthy, right? Some of these are carryovers from previous seasons, so something to track for sure.
Yeah, something to watch here. What other thoughts? Any other final thoughts here about this game? Oh, here's one for you. Are the Nuggets just not going to ever be a cup team? I feel like we always start 0-2. I guess it's only been 2 years. I feel like we always start with losses where we're like, damn. Because if you win a couple of these, I always say I'll get into the cup. The further it goes, the more you can kind of get into it.
Yeah.
The Nuggets kind of slam the door shut on night 1 every time.
And it's interesting, man. At their shoot around this morning, they broke down the huddle with 1, 2, 3 Vegas.
Which is kind of weird to me.
It's really weird.
Because it's not even cup. It's not even.
It's like, let's go to Vegas. It'd be sick to go to Vegas.
They're like, they might send us to like Oklahoma City or something.
1, 2, 3 Chandelier Bar.
Chandelier Bar. That was a little weird. But yeah, the cup, man. I want to get into the cup a little. It's not over. I will say this. There's the tiebreaker thing.
Well,
this is the group of death.
The Emirates NBA
The Emirates NBA Cup. This is the group of death. And it is the like total margin of victory. If you're going to lose, -2, not the worst way.
But that was supposed to be the worst team in that.
That's true.
Well,
that is true.
That's true.
Well, we'll find out, guys. The season is still young. Tom Stewart, CB was garbage can emoji today. Disappointing to see the team fall short in another close game. 23 team was so good in the clutch. Not sure if this team is.
Man.
Well, we just had that combo.
Yeah.
Well, they're not at the moment, but let's see.
The Fox Prince, Halloween
Was in the
Sicko
building
Lounge.
tonight.
Watching Portland kill us on defense feels like a festive horror movie kind of pain. Pumpkin emoji. Too many tricks, not enough treats. Ghost emoji.
Yeah, bummer.
Vladislav with some game grades. Adelman F. CB F. Clock F. Cam D.
Clock was definitely an F.
That Waldo guy. F-.
AG C-. Home cooking A+. Zane Begg. Hey, Zane, you probably know by now. You're a TV star, brother. We saw you on the
I don't know if you
broadcast.
saw that, man. You were on the TV.
I bet you got some texts about that.
He probably took his Christian Brown jersey off at the end, like, you know what? Or his costume.
I know. It's a good costume,
What
too.
can Brown do for you? Nothing. Not tonight.
Zane says tonight was a horror movie with a gruesome ending.
You had a great view of the clock malfunction, though. Second row,
You
I
were
think.
the star of the clock.
Yeah, you got a lot of screen time.
He was the backup star. There was Waldo.
That's true. That's true. You're right.
Ryan B. I can't tell who was worse, AG, Brown, or Adelman.
A
lot
I
of
should say
people
Brown.
want Adelman.
Well,
I mean,
we haven't talked about him.
I think tonight some of the real first questions about some of his moves.
Well, he's actually been doing this even in the blowout games. he is experimenting right now, and he has said you have to be willing to let it be ugly. The rotation has been different every single night, and when they're winning, it's like, hey, he's willing to do anything. And when you're losing, it's like we're kind of shuffling the deck after every single game. I'll say this: he has laid the tracks for this. He has said
He told us.
he told us I'm gonna do this, and it might even put us in these types of situations. Right or wrong, I don't think we can say, at least about that detail, I don't think we can say for a while. We'll have to wait and see.
Here is the one thing, though. The best guys play to close the game.
Yeah.
I'm keeping the best guys in. Whoever's playing well, they're going to close the game. Did Christian deserve to close the game?
I think Dev's point, though, is kind of right, that Peyton had already played like a bunch of minutes in a row.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Michael Porter Truther, Cam Onson, no J. His costume was 2 brick emojis. The rest costume was a blind person emoji. Start the Magic 8 Ball. Peyton,
man.
the Ocho Watson. Peter Duck, this game was dumb. And we can't hit our open threes.
This
Ouch.
game was so
Actually,
dumb.
I will say this underrated thing we didn't really discuss. This is a rough watch.
Really
Oh
bad
my
game.
God, man.
Just a bad game.
This was it was for both teams, honestly.
And it was a 3.5 hour
If you
Bro.
have you missed this one and are thinking about you listen to the Losers Lounge, you might just skip it, man.
Watch the final 5 minutes if you're curious in a gruesome manner. Liz, A5280. Cam still lost out there. CB consistently trash. AD 1,000 different lineups. Small shrug. AG tired of being main strong defense / loss every time.
Man, the strong card I think was not working today.
Thank you. Ryan B. So what does Cam do besides get swatted?
Fan base has turned it on Cam. He's got to get it going, man.
Wimel, I've seen enough. CB is a major liability right now. DA says you earn your minutes. Okay, THJ has earned that starting job, right? I don't know if it's the starting. It might be who closes, how the rotation
Even just
looks,
some more minutes, we'll see.
We went from Mike never swing the rock Porter to Cam scared to shoot the rock Johnson.
It is so true.
He said that boy can't wait to swing the rock as soon as he gets it.
Cam swing the rock.
This is the
Johnson.
ultimate irony of Cam is that it is like, okay, you're the extreme other end of this.
Yeah.
Ashley Weaver, tough night, but so grateful for you fellas and this community you built to work through
thanks,
together.
Ashley.
Love our
Real one.
squad. All the
I love
Nuggets
these
are
ones,
good.
man, especially in a Losers Lounge.
And
It
actually,
feels so
Came at
good.
2 months today, right?
Two months.
Celebrating your
Congrats.
2 months. Shout out our supporters club. Kyle M. Hey, Judge.
Hey, Kyle. I get the shout out on the worst game of the year. Mark it down, Kale.
You also got the off day show yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. That's
You
right.
also got the off day show.
I'm almost streaking.
5 ish.
Oh, no.
Happy Halloween, fellas. 20 bench 3-pointers down, only 535 till
Bro.
555. It seems like the secondary ball handling is still an issue. Screw this dumb cup.
Yeah, screw the cup, man.
Screw
We
the
don't want
cup.
the cup.
We never wanted the
Stupid.
cup
We
anyway.
never wanted it.
We didn't even want it.
I'll be honest. That banner you guys played in the pregame of the Bucks one really is hilarious.
I know. It's like it's your birthday sign.
It totally is that. It is kind of ridiculous that you have to hang a banner for that.
like the teams don't want to hang one. The league's making them.
Yeah, they're like, fine, it's going to be
Can't we
plain
just, like,
white
make a
and it's going to
plaque or
say
something?
champions.
Can we
End
just
of
hand
date.
out T-shirts?
We're playing zone and Jokic is still the hardest worker in the zone. Crying face emoji. Someone give CB and AG some Red Bull, man. The effort has been pathetic on defense.
Yeah.
They do need some Red Bull.
You know what's funny is like with this game where the Portland also didn't score a lot, like both of these teams' defensive ratings are probably even better.
No,
And the
they were
Nuggets-
really good, yeah.
And they were, the Portland was 6th coming into this game as well. So part of what we saw was two teams playing defense.
Yeah.
Drunk philosophy. What league pass do I buy where I just get to watch an NBA game as God intended? What's your take on all this non-b-ball bullshit? Like Scoot in the second. I don't know what that last.
I don't know what it means either, but I will comment on this.
He's probably drunk.
I was walking around my neighborhood with my kids today, trick or treating, and that was the topic of conversation. People know I cover the NBA, the neighbors and stuff, and so they come up to me and they want to talk, and they're like, "How come I feel like I don't know how to watch games? They're on this channel, they're on that channel." So the average man, they're just like, I don't know, it's confusing.
It's more difficult now. With
Yeah.
YouTube TV, people are pissed.
And YouTube TV, Adam
know.
Silver.
There's no central
Kale
hub for
canceled
TV
us.
anymore, and as a result, like everything is just untethered and floating.
And even if you have it all, it's like you have to have a calendar. There's like a flow chart.
It's
Where are we tonight?
Amazon Prime is the toughest because if you have cable, you can't just switch to Amazon Prime.
Right.
And then you have to you have to think, oh, is a game on Amazon Prime tonight? And then you have to check, and then you have to go to the app.
What a bummer.
$2 from Thought Foster. Michael,
Hey, you know what?
that's it. That's the end. Michael
like
Porter
it.
Truther, great costume, Deb. I am a huge fan.
Wow.
Real one.
Of Prince.
Yo.
He is a huge fan
Dev
of Prince.
broke Michael Porter Truther.
I did think we saw one from Stone Shooter who was celebrating his 2-month Supporters Club anniversary, and he told us that he is, I think, getting treatment right now, and I think that treatment is chemotherapy. I think I saw that in the chat.
Really?
So Stone Shooter, shout out, brother. We appreciate you. Hope you're doing well, and I'm sorry it wasn't a win, but hopefully we made it a bit more fun.
There it is
for you
right
tonight.
there.
Celebrating 2 months of memberships. Yeah, my first round of chemo today after a leukemia diagnosis. Yes, it was a weird game, but I was grateful to have it and grateful for the DNVR crew.
Well, there's some perspective for you. Hit the outro music. I actually appreciate you finishing our show with that one because it is some perspective.
Best of luck, of course.
Yep.
You got this.
Thanks
buddy.
for riding
You
with
got
us.
this.
Nuggets let us down tonight, but none of you guys did. You tuned in. You suffered together with us. Nuggets have some lessons to learn, but you want to know something? That's what makes for a good story.
You know what? It'd be boring if every. Nah, it'd be cool. It'd be so sick.
We
It'd
just
be
want it to
the
be
least
easy
boring
one
thing
time.
ever.
Just win every game, dominate, let us
needed it.
talk trash. No, it's great. We're back Monday. Everybody enjoy your weekends. Hit that like button on the way out.
We all silly like the mayor.